Hey everybody, today I want to talk to you about re-rolling in Baldur's Gate 3. Should you do it? Well, okay, to start with, you should play the game however you want. Obviously, don't let anybody tell you any different. Of course, you're not going to let them tell you any different anyways, right? You're going to play it how you want to play. You're going to play every game how you want to play. It's even funny for other games where they allow cheat codes or have a creative mode. Some people are really against that, and they kind of call people out for using those cheat commands, console commands or whatever. Hey, look, you play how you want to play and you have your fun, right? Everybody can have their own fun. But that said, I want to try to convince you to consider not re-rolling in Baldur's Gate 3. Why would I say that? Well, because I have an enormous amount of faith in Larian Studios. Check out this quote by one of the developers.
And I want to make sure that we keep on investing heavily in things that maybe 0.001% of the audience will see, because it is important that any journey that you take in your game is going to be equally rewarding. And if you would say, oh, 80% of the players go there and they see that, then what's going to happen is that you're going to put all your effort on the 80% experience and you're not going to do anything or less on the 20%. And that's not what you should do when you make a game like this, at least in IMHO.
Now imagine that 0.01% of people will only get to experience certain things, but they'll still put as much effort as they can into those experiences, kind of like little Easter eggs for people to find. Okay, this brings me to the discussion about whether you should re-roll. Now, when you come to a situation where you have to take an action, or you're about to have a dialogue with another character or an NPC, maybe even somebody in your party at your camp or even out in the wild, should you save? You hit F5 really quickly before you know a roll is coming, and then you roll, and if you fail, you hit F8 and reload and roll again, and just keep doing that until you make it. Should you do that? I don't think you should, because I think that Larian has so much creativity that they're creating an amazing experience for us that you'll miss out on, actually, if you make the roll. No, seriously, you think, it makes sense to think that if we make the roll, then we'll get rewarded with the special pet or the special item or the special experience. But failing the rolls, I think, and at least in my experience so far with the game, is that you actually get new experiences that you wouldn't have gotten if you had made the roll. For example, now without spoiling it too much, in Act 1, there's an opportunity to kill someone or convince them of something. And if you convince them of something, then all the people, all these NPCs, these characters in the game, they're fine. And you go about the story having a certain experience. But if you fail the roll and then end up killing this one NPC, then all these people get slaughtered in this, like, sort of like a town. I don't want to spoil too much, but they get slaughtered because of your action. Because you kill one person, everybody gets killed, as sort of like they're reacting to your action. So in my first playthrough, because I failed the roll and then just decided to kill the NPC that I was dealing with, I had one experience. And in another playthrough, I actually made my roll so I didn't have to kill this NPC. And then I came out and everybody was alive and I had a totally different experience. So, I mean, that's really just one reason why you shouldn't be re-rolling, because you're going to have experiences that you otherwise wouldn't have. Or maybe you'll gain items that you might not have gained. We don't know exactly every single 0.01% that the developers have set up for us to experience, especially if we just we save and then we reload the game because we failed a roll. And I never experienced that in a game. Most games I'll just always save, and if you fail, if you die or if you fail the roll, the experience or whatever it is, you just reload. And I see so many instructional videos for Baldur's Gate 3 showing you how to get this and how to get that and how to, have this experience in the game. Well, just save, roll, and if you fail your roll, reload and re-roll. But you're missing out on the failure experience. Where is that going to lead you? I don't know for every situation, but I have every faith in Larian Studios to create a super interesting experience. They've really earned that faith and that respect. And so I've told myself I am not going to be re-rolling. I may make videos too to show, future videos to show you tutorials about how to get a certain thing in the game, sure. But for a proper playthrough, I really don't think you should re-roll. You should play however you want, but I don't think I'm going to re-roll. Whatever my decisions are, I'm going to stick to them and see what the outcome is, because I think Larian's going to create an exceptional experience for me. Now, the other reason I don't think you should re-roll is that whatever decisions you make with whatever character, race, class, subclass, however you set up your character, whatever decisions you make, if you're just re-rolling for what you think is an optimum outcome, which I honestly, I don't think it is optimum. I think there's other experiences. But if you're just constantly re-rolling to get an expected outcome because you saw some video that recommended it, or because you feel like, oh, I'm failing if I fail the roll, I really want to make this roll. Think about your playthrough, your replay. If you play a different race, a different character, different class, different subclass, and you replay the game, are you going to save and re-roll every time there too to get the same outcomes, to get the same items, the same experience? I think you're missing out. I think you're really missing out if you re-roll. It's not only in the first playthrough, but in your second playthrough. I sort of feel like we should just make a decision and let that random roll be what it is, and then just accept the outcome. Get whatever you get, don't get whatever you don't get, and then see where the story leads you. And then in another playthrough, maybe you make the roll, maybe you don't then, and see how the experience is different. I think that's actually one of the most amazing things about this game, especially with all the different races, sub-races, classes, subclasses, multi-classing, is that you can play it a different way each time. So why not accept the rolls and the outcomes however they turn out each time and see how that experience is different? You may find that you're surprised by what Larian has in store. But if you're always just going to, be successful at every roll, I think you're missing out. I really do. I really think you're missing out. So anyways, that was just my take. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was talking to a friend about it. So I was playing, because this is like, playing Dungeons and Dragons tabletop, but instead of having other players and a dungeon master, it's just you and the game and what the Larian Studios has, programmed in there for us to experience. And I find that it's an exceptional experience regardless of whether I succeed a roll or fail. Let me know what you think in the comments about that. Did I influence you to not re-roll? Did you ever re-roll anyways? And for those of you who want to play the game with just the absolute highest settings possible, check out my sponsor, Zydex Computers. I own one. I absolutely love them. Just go to JurokTheViking.com/Zydex, and they can help you build a custom computer, based on your needs and your budget. And a huge thanks to my Patreon supporters and my YouTube supporters. I appreciate you guys so, so very much. All right, that's it for now. Have fun out there.